As we await the president, the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act gets a vote on the Senate floor later on today. This bill would set a stronger precedent to keep trans athletes out of women's sports, and states who don't comply would face consequences. At least 7 Democrats will need to get on board for it to pass a filibuster. Let's bring in Senator Tuberville, the Alabama senator who introduced the bill. So do you have 7 Democrats out there who care enough about protecting women in sports to join with Republicans?
Well, John, I would hope so, but it's a heavy lift. This is third time I've had it on the floor. I've gotten 1 Democrat vote. That was Joe Manchin. Obviously, he's gone. You know, we're getting to a point now where women and girls sports are getting ready to be extinct, because already in states across this country, we have high school teams that are made up of totally boys participating against girls. So it's very serious. Hopefully we can get something done today. But President Trump's executive order is only going to last, John, 4 years. After that, it'll probably go the other way.
So here's where the American people are on this issue. According to a recent New York Times Ipsos poll, 79% of all Americans believe that transgender athletes should not be allowed in women's sports. 94% of Republicans believe that, 67% of Democrats. So the tide would seem to be in your favor.
Well, you'd think so, but when you have the Democratic Party believe that men can get pregnant, you know you got problems. And it's such a gender attack on gender up here, John. Every day we see something from the Democrats that want to do away with anything to do with feminism or being a woman. It's dead wrong. And again, young girls need the opportunity that boys have, but it's going to be extinct now if we don't get something done. And again, a lot of these Democrats up here, they don't vote with their constituents. They vote how they want to vote, and that's wrong.
So Riley Gaines really illuminated what's at stake here in her support for the bill. She said, with the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act now being heard on the Senate floor, we're one step closer to ensuring that women no longer lose trophies, roster spots, playing time, scholarships, or fair competition to men in their own sport. That this really is a one-way street. We don't hear a lot about biological women going into men's sports and blowing away the competition. This is all about biological men going into women's sports, taking spots from women, taking championships from women, and not allowing women who have spent their entire lives trying to compete for these top prizes to really do what they're trained to do.
And I talked to Democrats, John, and I said, what is it you don't understand here? They say, well, it's got to be fair. Wait a minute, fair? You're going to do away with women's sports is what you're going to do. That's what's fair. And it's being really unfair, and it's also dangerous. Again, President Trump did this executive order, and people are defying it already. NCAA says, you know, we're not going to let them compete, but we're going to let them practice and dress in dress rooms and shower with girls. NCAA's lost their damn mind. We have to get back to common sense in this country, especially when it comes to something like this, because this will grow year and year and year out, and we have to do something for the women and girls in sports and give them a chance to learn leadership and time restraint, work ethic, and all those things. But the Democrats, they just want to destroy it.
Yeah. So we talked about the tide being with you in terms of where the American public opinion is. Janet Mills, who is the Maine governor, continues to swim against that tide. She had the dust up with the president last week. Here's what she said. She's fundraising off of her spat with the president, saying, I want to make one thing clear. Maine will not be intimidated by the president's threats. The work to push back against Trump and his agenda begins at the state level. Can you donate $10 to the Maine Democratic Party to make sure they have the resources to fight for our state? This is a state that had a biological boy who was a mediocre athlete go into a women's division and blow away the competition. So what is she defending?
Well, first of all, this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an American and equal rights issue. And again, this governor has no right to defy, number one, President Trump, but number two, take away the right of young girls to work hard, to take that opportunity that this country gives you to do the best you can in sports and to learn. Again, go back, I coached 40 years. You learn work ethic, you learn time, you learn how to work with other people, you learn how to win, you learn how to lose, you learn how to do all those things together. But again, they want to do away with women's sports for some reason.
Senator, we'll be watching later on today to see if you can break the filibuster and how many Democrats come over. We thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Sandra.